The Posway T1 electric skateboard is yet another affordable option for someone looking to buy their first e-board. And even though there's nothing really unique about this product, that isn't to say that this isn't a good electric skateboard. Posway have stripped away anything that is not necessary to bring us a bare bones electric skateboard with a friendly price tag to go along with it. The Posway T1 is $619, while its sister, the T2, is $469. But don't get confused here. The T2 is not an updated version of the T1. They're actually completely separate products. But in saying that, there are only two differences that I could find between the T1 and the T2. The T1 has a bamboo and fiberglass deck, which makes it a lot more flexible, while the T2 has a Canadian maple and fiberglass deck, which is going to make it very, very stiff. The only other difference that I could see was the battery. The T1 has a 324 watt-hour battery with 9 amp hours, while the T2 has a 284 watt-hour with a 7.6 amp hour battery. This gives the T1 a marketed range of 38 kilometers or 24 miles, while the T2 has a marketed range of 34 kilometers or 21 miles. So if you're deciding between the two, that $150 for the Posway T1 over the T2 will get you a flexible deck and an extra 4 kilometers of range. Anyway, let's get back to what we're here for, and that is the Posway T1 electric skateboard review. I mentioned that the marketed range was 38 kilometers, but in true e-skate form, I didn't quite get that number. The range I reached was 24.35 kilometers, which is 15.1 miles, and that's a little bit off, and I can tell you exactly why that is. Posway tested the range with an 80 kilogram rider in high mode, riding at about 25 kilometers an hour on a flat road surface. I'm 90 kilograms and I rode in H+ mode, doing about 30 kilometers an hour on average, while doing various performance tests such as the top speed, acceleration, braking, and hill climb, all of which are going to affect the overall range. Lighter riders and those who are going to ride a little more conservatively are going to get a lot more range than I did on the Posway T1. The maximum speed I was able to hit on the Posway T1 was 37.4 kilometers an hour, which is 23.24 miles per hour. That's a bit shy of their marketed speed of about 42 kilometers an hour or 26 miles per hour. But remember, that's probably due to my weight. There's nothing I can do about that. You featherweights out there will most definitely be able to hit that top speed of 42 Ks. I did an acceleration test in every speed mode so you can see exactly how each of them differ. Low mode is very slow. It's great for beginners and getting familiar with the Posway T1. Mid has a nice and gradual curve, which you can instantly feel the difference between low mode, but it is still totally controllable, even for beginners. High mode is a fairly large step up from mid, and for the inexperienced, it'll take some time to adjust to the ever so slight jolt that you get from the acceleration. Jumping into High+ is easy once you've nailed high. It's nice and punchy, but with your newfound confidence, it'll feel smooth as butter. For intermediate to advanced riders, you could easily take off in High+ and not worry about a thing. Here's a similar test that I did for the braking speeds. I rode in High+ mode at about 20 kilometers an hour, and I cycled through each of the braking modes to show you the difference in the braking power between each mode. Braking mode 1 and 2 are very light, so unless you're an absolute beginner, I'd recommend bumping your brakes straight into mode 3 at least. Braking mode 3 is where you start to get some real braking power, but ultimately you eventually want to be able to use braking mode 4 with confidence and control. As far as hub motors go, the Posway T1 does a pretty reasonable job at climbing most hills. This hill has approximately a 15% grade, and I was getting speeds of around 19 kilometers while climbing it. It's not the fastest at hill climbing, but it definitely manages to do it at a pace that's not embarrassing when people are watching you riding up hills. A cool feature of the Posway T1 is the automatic turn on and off feature. When you turn the remote on and then kick push off, the board will automatically turn on and pair with the remote. Just turn the remote on, the motors aren't working, kick, push off. I think you might have heard that thing. And away you go. The same goes for the end of your ride. Just switch the remote off and your board will turn off in a short period of time. That sounds like a small feature, but it offers a huge amount of convenience when you just want to get up and go. It's a Seahorse remote, which means it's running a Lingy ESC, which aren't very popular in the e-skate scene. However, the specific calibration for the Posway T1 makes the curve for the braking and acceleration nice and smooth with only a slight amount of jolting in the higher modes. The battery is a 10S 3P Confi running 18650 lithium ion cells with 9 amp hours and 324 watt hours. Both the ESC and battery are housed in an all metal enclosure, which is great for heat dissipation, keeping your electronics at an optimal temperature to ensure you get the best performance possible. The dual hub motors are rated at 480 watts each, which isn't huge, but as you've seen is capable of generating enough power to achieve top speeds of over 40 kilometers an hour and climb most hills with ease. It has 90mm 85A wheels and a 45-degree 7-inch trucks, which are actually awesome. The turning circle you get on these really surprised me. I was able to do complete circles in the middle of a fairly narrow suburban street with ease. All of this sits under a 38-inch bamboo fiberglass deck. It has a very minimal W-shaped concave, which is big enough for making hard turns, but are still small enough to prevent your feet from fatiguing too much. Another plus is the shock-absorbing grip tape. It really does do a great job of soaking up the natural vibrations from the road, again helping to prolong the amount of time you can spend on your board without your feet getting too sore. You get the standard set of accessories you would get with most electric skateboards, including the remote, charger, USB-C cable, T-tool, and spare hardware, with the nice addition of a deck cleaning eraser and rubber bash guards. Overall, the Posway T1 is a great electric skateboard, especially for beginners and intermediate riders. It is very comfortable and I felt completely confident while riding at high speeds. I didn't even experience any speed wobbles. I see most people getting this e-board as their new means of local and semi-distant transport, perfect for commuting to work or school. That's my Posway T1 review. I hope I've helped make your search for the best electric skateboard just that little bit easier. If I have, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the latest e-skate news and reviews. Also, if I've missed anything, which I probably have, just drop your questions down in the comments below. I do answer every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching. As always, ride safe out there, e-skaters, and I will see you soon.